Elizabeth Saporito.
And I'm Allie Hyman.
We're from the Dallas campus, and we partnered with Erin Smith, who is an OTD candidate, and she works at Ortho Texas in Carrollton. She is a CHT.
Was the use of EEG to detect sincerity of effort during standardized dynamometer grip strength testing. So for that, what we did is we used the Emotive Epic headset, and then we tested on both hands grip strength at 100% and 50% and saw if there were any measured differences between the two times.
For this project, we used the Emotive Epic, which is a 14-channel EEG that is wireless and uses Bluetooth to send the brainwave signals to the software. It records the brainwaves in real time, so as the person is doing the actions and doing whatever they're doing, it records it in the moment. It can monitor facial expressions, can track emotions and cognitive performance, and it can also be used to control virtual and physical objects through learned and trained mental commands. The Emotive Epic is used in many fields, including performance and wellness, brain-controlled technology, brain research, education, and consumer insights. There is also another EEG wireless headset called the Emotive Insight, and it was released after the Epic, and the Epic has a higher spatial resolution compared to the Insight, and the Insight has 4 channels instead of the 14 channels seen in the Epic.
What happens if you can't get them out? As hard as you can. Good. Relax. Now squeeze 50%. Good. Squeeze 50%. You're not as interested in that.
Hey, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Squeeze as hard as you can. Good. 50%. 50%. Good.
One thing that worked really well for us was that the research was supported by what we did with the Emotive. We were able to see some changes versus whenever I tried grip strength at 100% or 50%. Another thing that worked well was when the felt pads were damp enough, we had a little over half the connections that were green, which meant good, so we had some connection going. Some things that did not work well is it took us a very, very long time to get any connection at all. With 3 people in our group, I was the only one that was able to get any connection. The amount of solution was not well specified, we felt, and we were originally afraid to damage the little electrodes, so we didn't have very many drops of solution on it. So I think that's what made us take so long to get the headset to work. Like I said, I was the only one who we could find a connection on, and even then my right hemisphere had only 2 connections that resulted in poor, and then no other connections were found on my right hemisphere. Even with the connections finally found throughout the brain, They were not enough to work all aspects of the program. We tried just kind of playing around on it for a while, and we did the facial expressions section, and it only read a smile and furrowing of the eyebrows, but nothing else was picked up on there. And interest, stress, excitement, and focus all responded to the grip strength testing, but the whole time that I had the headset on, engagement and relaxation showed no change throughout the entire time. So some things worked well and some didn't, but overall, we learned something.
So throughout this project, we reflected on how interesting and cool the EEG headset actually was. Just the fact that you can see the brainwaves in real time and you can see what different parts of the brain are activated when you're doing separate activities was very interesting to us. And we also thought how useful this product could be in therapy settings, but also in different situations. So in advertising, if you're looking at consumer thoughts while they're shopping, and then also in when patients are controlling adaptive equipment, if they do not have the ability to move their hands or move another part of their body, they could use brainwaves to perform this action. And specifically in occupational therapy, because we did see a difference in the recorded brainwaves when the patient was doing submaximal effort and maximal effort. It can be used to develop appropriate baselines when a client comes in to your therapy setting. And then with this information, you can also develop appropriate goals and measure the improvement throughout giving therapy to this patient. And then after reflecting on our participation in this project, we really do want more experience and practice with the headset, just because we are very interested in what it did. And also we didn't have a lot of experience in how you can move physical and virtual objects just with brainwaves. So if we had more time, we would love to explore that area.
Some suggestions and recommendations that we had for the group project. Well, first suggestions, a more thorough explanation provided of connecting the headset to a computer. We read somewhere that other devices could potentially interfere with the connection from the emotive to the receiving device, the computer in this sense. So being somewhere that had less just technology in general to interfere, we put our phones on airplane mode and all that stuff to try to downgrade the interference. Someone with thin hair to be used for this project, or we thought even better, somebody bald. There was a PT that was working at the time who was bald, and we joked about him coming over because we couldn't get it to work for any of us. Whenever we got it to work for me, I was the one with the thinnest hair, so we kind of chalked it up to that, since they said that that might be a cause for it. Another suggestion is just to make sure that whenever you wet the felt pads, that you're making sure that it goes all the way through. Whenever we had touched the top of the felt pad, it felt pretty soaked, but then the bottom of it was still pretty dry. So we had to redo that a couple times to make sure we got it right. Recommendations. Watch some more videos prior to meeting up together to learn about potential troubleshooting areas, such as how wet the pads need to be or things like that. Another recommendation is just to practice the setup prior to the meeting date for research. And if more people were connecting with the headset to do the grip strength assessment test on multiple people to see if any other aspects in the program changed, since there were two on mine that were just flatlined the whole time. Another recommendation or suggestion for us personally was to get a better recording of the live feedback of the grip strength assessments, because we recorded the computer, but you can't really tell what it says on this video here. So that's why we had to redo that part.